to you and you lean back?
Oh, yeah.
He can do it. He can do it. We're good. We're good.
Fine.
We're good. We're good. We're golden.
Are we recording yet? Because
we've been recording for like the last 8 minutes.
I mean, we always
Why
press
the
record
fuck
early.
Does every big ass motherfucking King Kong dick motherfucker have to get killed?
Oh
Why?
man, I messaged I messaged
these
Chris like as
giant
soon as I read
warrior
that part, and
motherfuckers.
I was like, "Oh, Nate's gonna be so sad."
Dude, every time someone's like, "Bro, I'm here to fuck shit up," they're dead.
Fuck.
They get killed. Why?
They only get fucked shit up so long.
Yeah, I mean, he was
pissed me off,
stained.
dude.
He was stained. He was lucky he lasted that long.
But
Yeah.
like, why?
You need
Do you
a
have
sad
to like
Nate.
make him die, and that was the one thing that would make his sister be like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll help these fuckers out."
I mean, she was already kind of on their fence.
Exactly. So why kill him off?
Because it pisses people
have to
like
die.
you off.
At least he
Pisses
died
people like you
happy.
off, man.
He died with a smile on his face.
Yeah, you know what? I was happy. I was like, dude, at least he like felt like, I don't know, he died free and honorable. But at the same time, I was like, bro,
Plus-
why did he have to die?
Plus, in the end, did you ever see Grindhouse?
Yeah.
All right, remember I forgot.
know.
I can't remember the one with Kurt Russell where he's like the stunt
Yeah,
driver.
Death Proof.
Death Proof, and they all kick his ass at the end. I mean, that's basically what happened to the person that killed him.
Yeah. He got grindhoused.
Gross.
Well, since we didn't really have an intro, welcome back to Casual Outlaws. We're talking about Morningstar, Book 3 of the Red Rising Saga by Pierce Brown.
Once again, my favorite characters die.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just like,
I don't know what to say about that. Yeah.
it just pissed me off. I was like, bro, why you gotta kill off the big dude that was like, not all there, learning to be free. He's innocent.
I wouldn't say innocent.
Yeah, he was innocent.
He was innocent enough.
He was
It's my boy. My boy Blue.
He was encumbered from his upbringing. Therefore innocent. But yeah, I was so pissed when he died, and then like I was just like, he's talking to his sister, and like he's reaching out to like nothing, and everyone's like looking up, like, what the fuck is this guy
is he
seeing?
blazed right now?
Yeah, and I'm like, tear. It's like, why?
Oh, dude, you
It
should ask
wasn't
Chris.
so
I was
much.
pissed off while I was getting to the end of the book.
Yeah,
Because
it was great.
I was like, what the fuck? Darrow's a fucking moron. What the fucking shit, motherfucker? And it was a fucking psych out.
Yeah.
Didn't die.
and I egged him on too. I was like, yeah, people die, man.
Because that's
Oh.
just Chris's thing.
Yeah.
I immediately saw that it was a double fake at the end there. Because as soon as they killed
Severo.
Severo, thank you. I was just like, wait, we already killed a character this book. This doesn't make any fucking sense. This is just like annoying writing. And then it's just like, oh, okay, it's a double fake. Like they're using it to buy their way on board. The only question I had at that point was, is Cassius in on it? Or are they also trying to make me think that they're tricking Cassius at the exact same time?
Yeah, when he first grabbed the pistol, I was like, please tell me it's a trick pistol. Please tell me it's a trick pistol. But then you see the blood, and I was like, oh shit, no, I don't think it's a trick pistol.
I'm like, it could just be squibs or whatever. I think they just wanna like pretend like they're. I think it's really smart. I don't know. Like he thought it was a lot smarter than it was, because I thought this whole book was kind of boring and predictable.
Can I just say, I really wish, like, I've liked Severo all the time. But did anyone else get the sense that he just, like, became a fucking incompetent child in this book?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
he was just-
they touched
I
they touch on
literally-
that exactly. They're like, yeah, no, he's
They made him just completely suck for the first like
Yeah.
60% of this book, and then they kind of fixed it. They did a course correction with him.
I don't know. I
mean, they
was
did
like,
explain it, basically saying that like once they had that execution for Darrow, that he kind of just went off the deep end there.
Yeah, with it. I mean,
No,
with his
They
dad
published
dying.
a video
right.
of him getting
Yeah, but-
carved and all that stuff, and he kind of was
So
just
he
like he
finds
didn't know where he
Darrow
was
though,
going.
and he's still a little bitch.
Yeah, but Severo was never like this.
Stable.
Yeah,
He was
he's-
never a stable person
He's
to
not a
begin
stable
with,
element.
right? He was already a fucked up person, and then like his dad died after
He's
he
really
actually
you point him
Yeah.
at a goal and he'll
and
achieve
he'll
it,
go.
but
Yeah.
he doesn't have his own goal. That's the problem.
So, but his goal is to like save Darrow, right?
And he did it.
And so he does it, and then so still after Darrow's like giving him those goals to follow, he's just making stupid calls and just kind of being like, "Yeah, fuck this guy. You know what? I'm gonna kill this guy, even though we
Because
shouldn't."
he
I'm gonna kill
took on the role of Ares. Darrow was supposedly dead, so he's like, "All right, I'm the leader now. I have no fucking idea how to be one, but let's see what happens." Then he frees Darrow, and then he's all like, "All right, you're back. This is good. Shit's gonna start getting great again, right?" But at the same time, he's like, "I don't know if you're ready." And also, Darrow himself is not sure if he's ready. He's all kind of fucked up from what was it, 3 months of torture and then 9 months in a box.
Yeah.
6 months in a box. I thought the whole thing was 9 months long, because they wanted the metaphor of it being like a birth.
I think it was 9 months in the box.
I don't know.
Either way,
I literally thought when Ragnar was dying, I was like, "You got to kill Ragnar instead of this little bitch over here." Like, I was like, "Fuck this book."
It was excellent.
And then, as
Excellent
much as
that
I
you
saw,
It's juicy.
as much as I saw that, like, oh, it's a little ploy for several getting killed, it pissed me off because I was like, "Fuck you! You deserve to die, you little bitch." Like, I was just at the point, like, I was already in my head, like, I don't like. This
I
guy.
wasn't sure what was going to happen with it because of the whole thing of just like every single time that Darrow's like, "Oh no, I trust this person. We'll be fine." Bad things just happen to him. So I thought, okay, no, bad things are just happening to him again.
No, they couldn't do it that way. I don't think this time. Like,
There we go.
it felt super obvious because it's the whole series. The guy only has one trick, which is like having everything be a gambit. Like everybody's like hiding in rocks, waiting for the perfect moment to jump out. So it always the it has to look like we're losing a bit before we can even pretend like we're winning a bit. Is every single conflict in these books.
Except for that whole red wedding, because that was definitely just, no, you guys are losing.
Well, that's just the ending. Like that's just an event that happens. It's
It
not
seemed pretty
like
conflicting.
how
People dying, people getting shot
No,
in the
it
back
was-
by their sisters.
it was one thing. It wasn't a conflict. It was just a massacre. There's a difference there.
I mean, there's a conflict there. It's a conflict of interest. These people want to live. These people want
Shut your
those people
dumb
dead.
fucking face, you stupid fuck.
Jesus
Like,
Christ,
you know
Berger. You have
exactly
so
what
many
I'm
fucking
talking
issues.
about.
My God, you have some. Did you not smash the other week or something? Is that why you're so angry?
Where are we going with this? Back
I'm
to the
just saying,
book.
like he has
Back to
a
the book.
fucking issue apparently because he's just
No,
always angry.
Settle down. Settle down. He does make a
I
point.
don't
I mean, the book does have a formula. It for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like they books have formulas. Like you understand. Like, all right, something bad's gonna happen, so it can peak, and like that's just the book's formula. You can tell, especially when you get into this one, you're like, oh, okay, I see how it's gonna. That's just how the writer writes his stories.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah, I agree.
I really
But,
wish they would have. So the whole thing with Cassius turning had something to do with that video showing him his family getting massacred by the Jackals people. Kind of really wish they touched more on that, like at some point talking about how the Bolognas got massacred. Because one thing we heard was, oh, they defeated their fleet. But the whole thing with the Golds is taking ships, not just completely massacring everybody when they're Golds.
Yeah.
So I was like, it kind of came out of left field for me. It was just like, oh no, their whole family's just gone. It's just him. He's the
Yeah,
last one.
I didn't really see why Cassius switched sides all of a sudden, especially after they didn't give Roke the ability to switch sides. Like having Cassius do it all of a sudden seems dumb.
I mean, no,
It felt
he
very
definitely
forced.
gave Roke a chance to switch sides. He was like, don't do it. you could
I'm talking about
it.
the author here not doing it. Like he just wouldn't let him do it, even though like the book's talking about how great Roke is or whatever. Like the book like wants to make you think that Roke needs to be saved, but the book just won't let it happen. But for some reason it lets Cassius do it, even though Cassius feels I don't know what I want to say, like more shitty as of a human being. Like they don't praise him in the same way that they praise Roke, I guess.
Yeah, I think the only thing for Roke is Roke actually believes in society,
Yeah.
right? He
I,
believes in gold. He doesn't
yeah, but
believe
there's
in equality of the different colors and stuff like that. Like he truly believes in society.
And for
yeah, but
Cassius,
is
he's
there a
just lying to
depiction?
himself, saying that like, oh, it's for honor.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Cassie's only like he's just kind of
Cassius is just
a
fucking
lost
lost.
man.
Like everyone,
Yeah,
everyone he was close to is lost.
he's a lost man. He's trying to live by honor, and realizes it's a shit world.
His real fucked up version of honor, but yeah.
Yeah,
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 but I
yeah.
think I think Cassius was depicted in the exact same way.
Not. I don't know as much because you never see the conversations with Darrow and Cassius as much as with Roke throughout the books because he's on the other side, right? And it's first person view. But definitely conversations with Roke and stuff like that. I thought it really painted him as a person that just believes in gold and maybe gold.
And prior to the whole getting stabbed in the stomach thing in the first book, I think he was closer to Cassius than he was Roke or even Severo.
Yeah, I mean they had initial
I don't know.
bond.
I thought the way that they phrased it is that Roke kind of became his rock after the first book.
He leaned on Roke more, but he was always about Cassius, it seemed. Like
I think he always had an
I
affinity
thought he
towards
hated
Cassius.
him. I thought he hated him.
He started hating him, but at the same time he always had that inner monologue where he's like, "No, he can change."
He also had a mutual respect for Cassius, I think.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
But
I mean,
it
that's
was
how
like,
I always read it.
yeah, but before the stabbing in the first book, like it was him, Cassius, and Roke in basically that order, and then Severo afterwards is the one who filled in for Cassius.
Yeah. What's the first book? I think the second book he kind of makes it seem like Roke is basically like his lover. I mean, not literally, but like
Well, I mean,
spiritually.
Roke
Like
basically.
he's the
I mean, the second book was always like, oh, I need to fix that friendship. I need to fix that friendship, and then obviously the betrayal happens because he never goes and tried to
yeah,
like
but
really fix the bond.
they try
Right.
and phrase it in the second book that they're so close that he had to knock him unconscious so he could like that's the one person he wanted to save. Like that's the one person in all of gold that he wanted to save, right?
Well, I mean, I think at that time when he knocked him out, he was the only one from the institute he was really hanging out with in that location, right? Because he wasn't hanging out with Mustang. Victor
Mustang
wasn't in the institute with him.
That's what I'm
right?
saying is that
So it just
Roke
happened to
feels-
be he happened to be there, and he's the only one there, so he's going to knock him out, kind of thing. That's how I saw it. I didn't really see it as
because at the
they
institute
have like that super bond.
at
I
the
don't know. That's not how
war
I read it.
college, as we want to call it. Roke basically was like, I'm just going to attach myself over here to Darrow because he's a rising star. And he was it was what? That was 3 years after the first book, right?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
3 more years together.
And then in
They
those
spent
3
that time
years,
together.
the Bolognas, so Cassius' family has been trying to fucking kill him.
Yeah,
Basically,
I'm not saying he wasn't close to Roke,
Yeah.
but I don't think it was. I don't know. I think in the second book it just showed how far they drifted apart. Yeah.
but I think the amount that they drifted apart had to show like how close they were because it felt like it was a big like
Yeah, it was a big drift.
gap.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
he's still red, and and Roke doesn't believe in that. He believes in society.
I mean that
Right.
means nothing though for Darrow.
I know that means nothing for Darrow, but it means something for Roke. Right.
Right, but in terms of like who Darrow would want to save the most, I guess.
Well,
It feels
I mean,
like
the only other person he was really close to that was going to be there was Roke. And remember, before that
poisoning, they lit that fire under him again by showing him that extra footage of his wife saying that she was pregnant. So he was like, okay, yeah, fuck gold, burn them all. But then like immediately after that, he's still like, yeah, fuck gold, but he's still like, but, and he does change his mind like in the middle of that whole conflict there. So he must have been harboring those feelings all the way through.
Okay.
Plus, they always describe Roke as like a fucking romantic and a poet. He's like, he's not really kind of gold. And then he just goes full gold. They give him a fleet, and he's like, oh, this is where I excel.
Very warm.
Definitely gets evil with that fleet. Like when he's fucking telling what's his name, like, oh, I'm gonna come back and destroy everybody with my fleet.
I did like that whole sequence when they are in the Helldiver vehicles and they just fucking go in.
I like the book. I thought it was great.
The one thing I will say is that with the second book, a lot of things kind of just happen. Like you didn't see any of the planning going into play. Like when they go back and they get the guy who betrayed Augustus, like it just like all the parts just kind of fall in and it happens and they get through da 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 da. But like in this one, you kind of see things kind of coming together. He's like, no, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna do this, and then they do that. And then they start coming back. I'm like, we're going to go over here. We're going to tell them we're going over here, but we're going to do this. Like you see the things actually coming together as opposed to just like, yeah, all the planning happened in the background. We never saw it happen.
I mean, it's better in this book. I think this book still has a big problem of things just happening off camera. Like the whole plan at the end of this book to, have Severo play dead and they're going to sneak their way onto the ship. Like they form this whole big plan off camera on us. Like all plans in this book happen off camera for the most part, and then it tries to like tell us that everybody's really genius because they lied in wait and waited for the moon to orbit, or because they are like, yeah, we're going to be able to buy our way into the throne room. All of the like characters thinking, planning, coming up with stuff happens off screen. It feels a little bit less obvious than it did in the last book because like you had what's his face betray him after uh fucking Caesar was saying like, trust me, this guy's not going to betray me in the next scene. I look like an idiot too? And then he betrays him in the next scene. Like that kind of like really jarring off-screen stuff wasn't really in this book, but it's still too much stuff happens off-screen for my taste.
I actually prefer it. I don't need to know the nitty gritty.
You don't need the filler.
Just take me into the action. That's fine.
I think it's okay to hide some information, but it just becomes one of those very repeatable patterns where like the book is trying to like scare you, being like, oh, things are falling out of control, but actually it turns out this is Justice Keikaku. We were planning this the whole time. You revealed my trap card.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind it. I expect like that's fine. Like it doesn't bother me. That's fine.
I just think it's predictable.
It doesn't bother me.
It's boring. I'm just like, oh my god, just do the thing already because I know you're going to do it. Oh, okay, you finally did it. Jesus Christ!
You think more deeply about this kind of stuff than I do, and I'm just here for the ride, right? I'm just like, all right, I just want to be entertained. Like I don't need to think deeply about it. It's like a popcorn flick of books.
Yeah, kinda. I just think that I don't know. I hate how the main character doesn't seem to have a thesis other than it's about family.
Works for Fast and the Furious.
Dude, it's literally one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah, no. That's
like
fine.
that's not a problem for me.
But like,
I'm cool with that.
Fast and Furious doesn't pretend to be like really smart or deep or anything like that. It knows it's dumb, and I think this book has ambitions of brilliance, but I don't. I just think it's way too dumb.
I mean, I don't think that.
I think you're just reading into it too much.
I think you're reading into it. Like again, this series is a popcorn flick. So obviously, I don't think that because I'm just here for the show.
It's also,
I
I'm
think
pretty
it's
sure, a
right.
young adult series. So
Yeah,
could see
it
Darrow
definitely
as
started
being
off as a
decent.
YA book. Yeah. I will say the writer. I mean, the first book is his first book, right?
yeah.
And you could definitely tell the writer's gotten better book over book, but that's fine.
Writer's bad.
That's so here's the difference. Like Sanderson books, I'll probably never reread those books ever again because they're just too dense. There's too many lulls for me to be entertained, and I'm seeking when I read entertainment or enjoy entertainment, I just want to be entertained, and I don't find that like
And there's
fun.
only so many times you can read an entire paragraph about how the creme formed on this one thing.
Yeah. So as much as I love the Sanderson books, I'll never redo it.
That's so fucking true.
Right. But this series I'll do again because I just want like just fun. I want some action. I want some quippy dialogue. I want some cool banter back and forth. And this book gives that to me. And that's the difference.
I don't think this book has good banter.
I think it's fantastic banter. I love the dialogue that they have with each other.
I think it's simple and easy.
I
And
think it's
Chris
simple.
Chris likes using all of the slang terms from there as well.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun for me. Like I like the little world that they built and the different things. It's just fun. And I'll probably continue to keep rereading this book.
Well, I mean, we're doing Iron Gold next, so there you go.
Like this is my second run through, and I'll probably keep doing it. Much like Dresden Files, I'll probably do every year. I'll probably go through the series, like I do with Dresden Files.
I'm on Turncoat now, actually.
Yeah. So, yeah, just depends what you're going into a book series for, I guess.
So recommend?
I mean, I recommend this book to anyone that's
yeah, I
just wants something fun,
Recommend.
right? Yeah.
That's fine.
Just one of those things.
I don't know.
I
This
really
book was.
What was
Go
that,
ahead,
Nate?
I was just gonna touch on like our when Ragnar died. As much as it sucked, I really like the whole like Valkyrie
World building with
sisters and-
obsidians.
Yeah, with the whole.
Oh, when she just
obsidian thing.
fucks people up in there?
Yeah, dude. But like I don't know. They walk into like Ragnar's mom's room, and she's just like they describe how Ragnar's just on her lap, and
She's
just, like,
fucking,
this
and she's
little thing,
fucking huge,
and
apparently.
she's just like this giant Valkyrie woman. I was like, bro, that's fucking cool. I just really like that whole description of his family. I thought that was fucking dope.
Yeah, I really like the
These-
obsidians and all that.
Like these otherworldly huge creatures that have been enslaved by like these smaller gods. Like I just thought it was super weird, and I was just like, bro, what do they have to be fucking afraid of? Look at that.
Technology.
The technology, yeah.
But they were just like, I don't know. I just thought that was really fucking cool. And yeah, fuck.
So Iron Gold,
Ragnar died.
that's like a 10-year skip, right?
Something like that.
I'm wondering if like the Obsidians are a problem again after 10 years.
Yeah, because didn't they have to
I have
like?
no idea.
You
Kill-
do have an idea, you're just not going to tell us.
Didn't they have to like kill the Obsidians in the past or something like that? And
Yeah, that's the
like,
reason why the
it's-
Obsidians are like Norse, is because I think they rebelled at some point, and they were like the one big threat to the Golds because they're just basically bred to fuck shit up.
But how did the Golds? Did it go over like how the Golds like in a way enslaved them?
Probably
into
just
kind of
they,
like
they
a
probably just
servitude?
nuked the fuck out of them, and
Yeah,
then
they.
just nuke the fuck out of them, and then take whatever survived and just make them primitive. Just take away all knowledge from them.
They created a religion for them to worship,
And then they
stuff like
carved
that,
a bunch
and-
of fake creatures around where they put them to keep them in place.
Yeah, they created a mythology around the golds and all that stuff, and then forced it over generations.
Yeah, because the mom knew about it. They
Yeah.
knew that like Golds weren't really gods and shit.
Some of them were in the know, but at the same time, like even if they're in the know, it's still one obsidian or a couple of obsidians against people with a lot of fucking high-tech weaponry.
I like them.
Would have been cool to see like the Valkyries ride into fucking battle on like griffins and shit though.
Yeah, that would have been fucking dope. But I really like their whole mythology around the Obsidians. They're like pretty fucking cool.
Pretty fucking cool.
They're pretty cool. I like them. I need more Ragnar though.
Yeah, well, he's dead.
That's not happening.
You know what, dude? I want a series. I want a side series about Ragnar growing up, going through the trials. I'd fucking
Getting
read that shit.
stained.
He's just like 14 years old, like, I'm going to be a badass. Like, I'd read that little side quip.
I mean, so we had Pax in the first book, so we got a big guy who just kicks ass, and then we got Ragnar in the
gotta be
second
someone
book,
in the
big
fourth
guy who
book.
kicks ass. Third book, Ragnar's still there, big guy kicks ass until he dies. I imagine there's gonna be another big guy that kicks ass in Iron Gold.
I feel like in the first book, like, because Pax was the name he drew out and had to kill, I feel like he was like, well, I guess I'm just going to kill every big cool guy from now on.
Just to fuck with Nate.
Yeah.
He found out about Nate. He's like, fuck you in particular.
Yeah, I
But-
think I think killing characters is a tool that the author discovered. I was like, hey, this worked pretty well one time. I'm just gonna keep using this tool over and over again to get really dramatic moments out of it.
Yeah, I want to say even the authors admitted that, like, publicly.
It's like, I just like killing off characters that people like.
Change it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the authors admitted that.
I mean, that's my complaint with these
Yeah.
books is that the author is kind of predictable with things in terms of like doing those gambits that I mentioned. Like those are really obvious. He's gonna kill, really audience heavy favorite characters because he likes the big impactful moment because they just feel like things that belong in a book. I just think you could set your watch to it.
Yeah,
That's
think
how I.
What upset me about it is like he chose Pax in the first one, and then like so now because of that, like he's just sticking to his guns in the big strong guy.
Or maybe
Always has to die.
maybe he
Like,
just
there's-
maybe these are his favorite characters, and because they're his favorites, he's like, I gotta kill him before I turn him into Mary Sue's.
Well, I think what he does is he reads what the fans like and go, oh, okay. I
Just
see
jumps
everyone
on the
really
subreddit.
likes
He's like, all
Ragnar.
right, who does everyone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy's fun.
Everyone really
That
likes
guy's
Ragnar.
fun.
All right, book
Dude,
3.
What
He's
pissed
out!
me off too is like as soon as that
So
whole
angry
conflict-
about this.
that whole conflict starts right in the ice, and Darrow's like looking at fucking what's her name and like remembering back to like his teacher going, "Oh, if you have to fight anyone, do not fight this bitch." And I was just like, "Great, Ragnar's about to fucking die." I'm like, "You got to be fucking kidding me."
Yeah, I think things happen in this book because the I don't know. I think that when I think of like a good book, I think it's more like this story happened, it's a thing that actually happened, and not like things are happening in this book because the author wanted them to happen or thought he needed something to happen here. And this book feels very much like the latter, where all the things that are happening are very transparent to me of what the author thinks he needs to have a good book instead of like just being part of a natural story.
I think that, like Chris said, he's a new writer, and I think he is paying attention to what the fans like and kind of playing off of that. Maybe a little
Yeah.
bit more than a more experienced author, but I still
Yeah.
enjoy it. I'll still read his stuff. I just like the little world he's built with Red Rising. Like Chris said,
I
it's
don't know.
simple and easy. And
This book
I enjoy
started
it.
reminding me again that I think the author might be a fascist in terms of like having that Silver, who's like some kind of anarcho-capitalist who was a founding member of the Rising for some reason.
Quicksilver?
Yeah, Quicksilver. Like they moved really quickly to make him a good guy. Just like we need to force this through. We're not gonna try and set this up at all because we don't have time to set this up at all.
Actually, you get to know more about Quicksilver in the prequel book, Rise of Ares.
Nerd.
did the
I'm just
prequel book? Did the prequel book come out?
I know
before or
what
after
you're
this book?
saying. I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, that's retconning. It
It's
just
fine.
feels.
It doesn't bother me because I'm not thinking deeply about this stuff. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But I get why. I totally recognize why you feel the way you feel. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong either. It just doesn't bother. Right? It just doesn't bother me.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Ragnar again real quick.
Go on.
The only thing that made his death enjoyable was the fact that, like, right when he was dying, he talks to Darrow and he's like, "I will build you a house with your wife in the afterlife." And he's like, "But I'm a crappy builder."
So
It was
take
funny,
your
yeah.
time.
Like,
Take your
don't
time.
die too quick. Take your time, because I'm not a carpenter. I suck
Sure.
at building shit.
I will say a nice thing about this author's writing. I think that the dynamics between characters are very good.
Yep. That's my favorite part is the dynamics between characters.
Yeah, I just think that all of the story around it is complete dog shit and really bad, and he needs to work on that.
Yeah, that's fair. Sure. I mean, I don't think it's dog shit, but I don't think it's top tier
so
either. But
predictable. Oh, it's so bad.
I don't know.
Like,
I
we-
paid less attention.
I mean,
to that.
at the end of the day, you kind of realize like, oh, this story is about the poors rising up
No,
and
it's
winning. So
Not.
I kind of forget about
that's a
the
big
premise.
problem I have is that it's not about that.
What'd you say, Nate?
Yeah, I like forget about that. Like, I read this book and I know, like, yeah, it's they're rising up and there's this, revenge for this wife and everything, but because of the strong character to character dynamic, like, I almost forget about that until it is mentioned, because I just enjoy.
I
Yeah,
enjoy the characters.
what I'm reading it
character.
for is these character interactions.
Yeah.
And character
Yeah.
development.
And then, like, they're like, oh, he sees the video of his wife, finds out she's pregnant, and it's like, oh, okay. So it's like quickly reminding me, like, oh yeah, he's obviously doing this because he's a kid and he's just upset. And then, like, I forget about that again until it's mentioned. I just thought
Sure.
I agree
guess-
with Chris. I really like just the character to character shit.
Yeah, I guess one of the big problems that I have though is like in any given moment, two characters interacting is really good, but all the things that happen to our characters, so the way that we see our characters change, like in between individual moments, like it just feels like you're forcing them into positions. Like you have this, you've written parts of dialogue together, but you haven't figured out how two different pieces of dialogue are drawn to each other. And so you have to force characters to be different people all of a sudden because we have this dialogue that has to happen. Like we aren't shifting things around the story. We're like shifting the story because we want characters to interact with each other in different ways. And you're like grinding gears together. Like it's really bad for the story, like for like the cohesion of the book to me, because like it's not clear. You're just like forcing things to happen.
I tuned out. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But
Yeah, I mean-
so,
I enjoyed it. I don't know what to say.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite series currently.
What was the
Yeah,
time
I
last time?
I think this series is really
Yeah.
bad. I don't recommend it.
Pile of dog shit.
Yeah. So give me a bowl.
Give me a bowl and I'll enjoy it.
All right, 2 weeks. Iron Gold.
Boo. Boo.
Why did I
These
think
books are
book 4 wasn't
bad.
out yet?
What's that?
I'm sorry?
How come I thought the book 4 wasn't out yet?
Book
Oh, no,
4
it's
and
out.
book 5 are out, right?
Yeah. He's
Really?
writing book 6 right now
Maybe that's it.
And
Maybe I
book
thought it
6
was
is
book
supposed to
4
be
he
the
was
end,
writing.
right?
of the next trilogy. Yeah.
So there's going to be more.
I don't know.
No.
Probably.
Wait, these are
Oh,
Cast
you're
count.
the
Two
one who
separate
follows all
trilogies?
the social media for this stuff.
I just know he's writing book 6. I know he wrote
Which-
like 300 or 400 pages of book 6 and then threw it all away. He like showed a picture of him throwing it in the trash.
What the
He's like-
fuck?
He's like, did not work. He's like, this is not good. I'm starting over.
What was I thought you said that there was one of these books in the series where like the whole story gets away from Darrow.
I mean, it doesn't
It's
get
like a
away from
new-
Darrow. Darrow's still involved.
They just introduce new
introduce-
characters and
you-
new character perspectives.
Yeah, exactly. So it goes away from the one person character perspective and goes into multiple.
Yeah, like my understanding is that Iron Gold follows like some little girl, Darrow, and even Cassius.
A few other people.
Yeah.
So it goes beyond, right? Because it's like the aftermath of this book and like rebuilding civilization essentially, and the government and all that stuff. And then they take you into the viewpoints of different people at different places within who it's impacted, and then how their stories kind of intermingle. So
So
yeah.
an early Guy Ritchie movie.
Are these viewed as separate trilogies?
In a way, yeah, because they take place like 10 years later
Yeah.
after the.
Can we do like a break book instead?
Nah, we're
10
gonna
years
just continue.
I mean, I'm
Just
fine
book-
with the
oh
break
my God.
book. I'm fine with the break book. I mean, it's a good.
I'm
If
fine.
you're going to do a break, this is a good time to do a break book.
This is a good
That's what I'm
time.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm getting so annoyed with these books.
Okay, then we'll do Gideon the Ninth.
Anyone else have any other recommendations? I don't have any because I wouldn't mind doing Poppy War. I've heard.
Poppy War
I've
I've
been
heard's good,
seeing
but that's
it-
a trilogy.
I've been seeing it
so
coming
I
up.
would-
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a trilogy.
There's-
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a book called The Shadow of the Gods that I heard was really, really, really good. And I think is just a standalone book.
We can do
Let's
Seven
read that.
Eves.
That sounds cool.
Shadow of the Gods.
Who's it by? Shadow of the Gods?
John Gwynn.
I think I might actually have that on my Kindle.
The gods have left, but they've left also a shadow of the gods.
Dun dun dun.
In a world where the gods are no longer here, but is
Something like
forever
18
night.
hours on Audible.
Ragnar must fight to survive.
The shadow of the gods.
I either
By
have it
John.
on my Kindle or I had it on my Goodreads. Not sure.
Burger by John.
By John
Gwynn.
Gwynn.
Yeah, GWYNNE.
It's got a
It's got a
dragon,
dragon
on
on
the
it.
cover.
I fucking already like it. I love dragons.
Oh, here's a publisher summary. From acclaimed fantasy author John Gwynn comes the first in the Bloodsworn trilogy, an epic of wild lands and wilder magic, where not all monsters fight with tooth and claw, and the treasure of the gods come at a price.
Not a bad announcer voice.
Blood
I didn't
curdling
realize it was part of a
scream.
trilogy.
Oh no,
Come with
the one I
me.
have from John Gwynn in my reads is Malice, which came out earlier this month.
This is the
Uh-huh.
age of storm and murder.
Oh no, actually no, I do have the
It's
Bloodsworn Saga on
murder.
here. I do have the Blood Sworn Saga on here. I just couldn't find it on Overdrive.
Yeah, I don't think I've read anything by John Gwynn before. I just saw like a review of it that was like praising it up and down. He called it an S tier book that he read so far this year, and I was like, well, I'm interested.
Set in a brand new Norse-inspired world. Oh,
Ooh, I'm for
Nate's
it,
gonna have a
bro.
bunch of like Ragnar flashbacks.
Fucking Ragnars and Valkyries all up in this bitch.
But
Oh,
it
that
actually
sounds cool.
came out in May of this year. Like
The
it's
Shadow of the Gods?
Yeah, like May 6th is when it was released.
Oh, so the rest of the trilogy isn't even out then?
No, this is just the one book in it.
Oh,
I guess it's why
okay.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Then we should do it because there's no follow-up.
Not for a while.
Yeah, so I'm down.
I already had it in my want to read list, so
I already know these fantasy names are gonna fucking annoy the crap out of me.
Yeah.
That's like my least favorite part of fantasy books is the names.
Really?
Yeah.
Vergrio, the land of Vergrio.
yeah, I have,
Okay,
it, on, I have it on hold at the library because they only have like one copy and everyone just fucking jumped on it.
So are we gonna read this one?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Fine.
I say yay. How about you guys?
I say yay. I
Go
already
for
bought
it.
it with a purchase
All right.
or with my credit.
Fine with my credit.
I'm just trying to see if I can actually find a copy of it without having to buy it.
Oh, you thought you already had it.
Hey, these
No,
authors
so
need
I
your
had
money.
it, I had it on
alright?
Goodreads, and Overdrive is what I use to pull up
Is that
like
with the
Kindle. Yeah, but since it's so new that like most libraries either don't have it or they only have a single copy, and they can only give one copy out per person, so because of licensing, so I haven't been able to grab it. Apparently,
I don't know. It sounds cool. I'm excited to read it.
I think I have his other book though. The the Malice book also just came out. So apparently, he's writing more than one trilogy at a time.
So is this a new author? This John Gwynn?
I don't know if he's a new author. All I know is that he's got 2 new books that have just come out. Let's see here. Let's see what other books he has.
Malice looks like it's part of a series. I think it's like the
Yeah,
fourth
it's
book in
it's
the
another series. Faithful and the Fallen, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh no! So there was a recent republishing for Malice, but the original publishing was in 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it has it's a series of I think 4 books. So there's Malice, Valor, Ruin, and Wrath. And then he also has another series called Of Blood and Bone, which was a trilogy, which looks like that finished last year.
I think this book is going to be in the perspective of like 3 different people:
Which is fine.
Orca, Varg, and Elvar.
I'm just wondering, like, is it going to have numbered chapters, or is it going to be like Game of Thrones and Dagger in the Coin, where they just name the chapters after the character it's following?
Yeah, it says like chapter 28, Orca, chapter 29, Elvar.
Yeah.
Chapter
Okay, so
30,
it's
Varg.
like that then.
Yeah, but it's 3 different names, so maybe those are going to be 3 different people.
That was one issue I had with Dagger in the Coin, is that like it has like 6 different perspectives you got to follow in just the first book.
That's where I was getting lost in those like Blade itself trilogies. There's just so much information you had to remember.
Oh, actually, I picked up the trade paperbacks for those. They didn't have Last Argument of Kings though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had like 4 copies of the first 2, no Last Argument of Kings, and then they also had several copies for the Age of Madness series. Yeah, that bugged me.
What's that blue guy on your shelf? Is that a Meeseeks?
That's Bender.
That's Bender
Yeah.
Bending Rodriguez.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see
Yeah.
it. See a
Yeah,
little
and then
antenna
there's
on
an
that.
R2 next to him. 1982 or 81 R2D2.
I named my cat Zap Brannigan.
Nice. Does he wear a
Does he-
velour suit?
He's just a prick.
I mean, that sounds like cats to me.
Yeah.